Hello and welcome to this video on Ark Survival Ascended. This time I'm going to be showing you the lava cave. This is in the east of the island. So it's all the way on the east side. The coordinates are 74.2, roughly 92.3. As you can see right in front of me here, that is the entrance. It is sometimes a little hard to see because of all the extra kind of foliage they've added in Ark Survival Ascended. But basically on the map you can see it's, if I zoom out a bit, it's kind of this like semi-circle cutout bit here where you'll find it. It's pretty easy to find. So this is the entrance over here. It just looks pretty much like a little split in the wall. So let's just head into the entrance here. So first of all, before I show you the route to the artifact, I just want to go through some things about what you might need. Once again, a mount. Again, my choice is always my direwolves when it's possible, but of course there's plenty of other types of mount you might be able to use: sabers, stylus, baryonyx, whatever you prefer. This cave, of course, being called the lava cave, as you might expect, is a very warm. So first of all, I'm going to suggest using ghillie armor. That is pretty much essential. Another thing you can do is use this Kalian soup, which cools you down for like 15 minutes and it reduces your water consumption. I generally don't feel like I need to use this when I have a ghillie on, but again, it's optional. Another thing I highly recommend having in this cave is lesser antidote. This is because there are bats. There's a lot of bats in this cave. They can give you rabies, which pretty much depletes your health. So I would definitely recommend having lesser antidote because that combats the rabies and therefore you don't lose all your health. Another thing, again, optionally, you could also bring some medical brews with you. You can also, of course, bring the essentials, food and water. Food can heal you up a little bit, but if you need quick healing, you might want to bring some medical brews with you. Another optional thing is to have a crossbow and grappling hooks. I'll show you later on the route where you might need these. Again, this is optional and it's more for if you want to really play things safe, because again, if you don't want to end up in the lava, you might want to have these with you. But again, it's not essential and I'll show you later on in the video where you might use these if you do bring them along. So I think in terms of what you need, that's pretty much it. So this cave, the lava cave in the east, is for the artifact of the massive. This is also for the Broodmother boss fights. Okay, so let's get started. Again, in the first section, there's normally not really any enemies. So we're just gonna follow along here. Again, this first section, there aren't too many options of where you can go. So you can't really get lost here, I think. By the way, I am doing this on a server online, so I do sometimes apologize if there's little glitches or slight lag. But yeah, that's life. So there is a big chamber here, but again, there aren't too many options. You just continue down this little ledge. I kind of tend to keep to the right side over here. But again, you can't really get lost. And you'll see this path to the right over here. Again, it's a big chamber, but yeah, you can only really go one way. So we're going to head down here to the right. And we're going to see that there's a little split here, but that just goes to some flowing lava. So that's not really a direction you want to go in. We're going to stick heading to the right. And this is where enemies are going to start spawning in. Sometimes it takes a little time for them to load in because of, so as you can see already over there, there's bats, a whole pile of bats. So in this cave you're going to find bats, scorpions, spiders, dilos for some reason. What am I missing? Well, we'll see along the way. Am I missing something? As you can see over here, there's a huge pile of enemies. What I tend to do is just try to maybe attract one or two, get them to kind of follow you, and kind of go at them in in sections, if you see what I mean. So the bats are coming out first. Here we gotta just, yep, see I've directly contracted rabies, so I'm gonna take a lesser antidote. Otherwise it will completely deplete my health. Oh. It's getting a bit glitchy. If you want to make some space, just go back, retreat a little. So in this cave there's definitely quite a lot of areas where there's high levels of enemies. So we're gonna need to do a lot of killing. Yeah, because in this cave it's pretty hard to avoid them or run past them, because this cave is a bit more treacherous in terms of there are some parts where you need to do jumps, there's some gaps, there's places where you can fall in lava, which obviously we don't want, because that's pretty much, well, insta-death. You won't be able to get your stuff back, all that kind of stuff. It's not very nice to do, so we gotta be careful about that. Okay. Also, another thing I sometimes advise is checking your... Are you gonna come over? So your harvest settings, you can also turn off certain harvest settings, either for items or for like actual resources, because otherwise you're gonna end up indeed pretty much emptying your inventory every time, unless your mount happens to have very decent weight. But wolves, for example, tend not to have the most weight, and I'd rather not spend my points in weight if I can avoid it, because I want more health and more melee damage. Those are important to me for this mount. So that's another thing you can do. You can change the harvest settings on your dino and make sure that you don't keep picking up all the stuff you don't want. Again, that's completely up to you if you want to do that. So as you can see as well with this ghillie that I have on, I don't have any heat issues. I'm not even slightly too hot, so that's pretty good. But if you're having issues with that, then you might need other ghillie or a higher level ghillie, or indeed take one of those soups. Of course, those soups need to be crafted. Sometimes you can get them in drops, but like otherwise, basically, you'll need the ingredients to craft those. Come on, Dilos, are you gonna? Okay, fine. I'll take you. And the bats are definitely extra annoying because they don't just attack your mount, they attack you directly, so that's why you can pick up the rabies pretty easily, and lesser antidote is really essential. That you also need to craft. It does need some special ingredients, so it is a bit more annoying to craft, but yeah, it is pretty essential for this cave. So over here, again, once you've gone through the enemies, we are actually gonna take the route over here to the right. I do just want to like point out that in terms of loot drops, as you can see, there's a blue one just down over there. Sometimes you can find it also just on top here. Oh gosh, all those like pluses are kind of annoying, aren't they? Sometimes you can find it also just up on top over here, where you can see that scorpion over there. So yeah, that's in terms of loot drops. There are quite a few loot drops in this cave. I will point them out kind of along the way if I remember them. As I said here, otherwise we're going to go to the right. And we're going to get to this chamber here where there's going to be, again, another ton of enemies. As you can see over there in the distance, there is a loot drop there too. The only thing is, please note, there is a little jump here. So again, this could be a situation you might want to use grappling hooks. If you don't, you could jump over with your mount. That's really up to you if you trust the non-glitchiness or the glitchiness of Ark that is sometimes that you might kind of glitch. I don't normally really bother for a blue drop over there personally. As you can see, there's lava here, which you don't want to fall into. But yeah, there's definitely whole bunches of... I might also just take a lesser antidote already so that I don't get rabies, because there's a ton of bats. So here I am just gonna heal up a little bit, which again, that might be something you need to do. Handy to have meat, or make sure that you're harvesting meat still, so that you can heal up if you need to. Stick to the right, follow the path along the right side of the lava here. And we're gonna go here. Again, yeah, this area has a lot of enemies. Then there is a little break where there aren't too many enemies. Oh. Okay. Joys of the glitch. This doesn't really matter which way you go around. I'm just going to go around to the right. It ends up in the same place. So we're going to continue here. Here we're going to find that there is a gap that we need to jump over. Again, this could be somewhere where you might want to use a grappling hook if you want, or just, you know, make sure you trust that your mount can make the jump if you want to do it on your mount. Another thing you could do if you're really worried is pod your mount, jump over yourself, and then unpod it, of course. You know, there's different approaches, but I essentially will probably just jump over with my wolf. Let's make sure I'm not too heavy, actually. Let's get rid of a few of these. Should be fine. And let's just hope that it doesn't glitch. And I did it a little in a weird angle. Yay! Go me. But anyway, if you just do it normally straight, you should be fine. So we're going to continue along this path here. And here you can see there's kind of this part that goes a bit down and one part that goes across there. My personal route is following down this way to the right. And we're gonna kind of curve around to the left here, to this path here. And then follow this little path, and we're gonna get to an area where there's some more enemies, there's some more loot drops, and there's also some explorer nodes down here. So let's just follow the route down here. And as I said, there's going to be some more enemies. So let's handle those first. So yeah, just watch out a bit down here because there are plenty of spots of lava. So I try not to run through it too quickly because sometimes that leads to kind of glitchiness and lag. So over here, as you can see, there's some ruins. Sometimes there's a drop right here. There's two actually explorer nodes here, one right here and one actually right on the edge over here. Just be careful when you're getting that one. But so we're gonna go through these ruins and then head over to the right here. And yep, we're gonna encounter a few more enemies as well. Hello there. Die before you spit at me. I'm gonna follow along this path for a little bit. Some more enemies. So as you can see, that's where we came from over there, where I pointed out the explorer nodes and that there's sometimes loot drops over there. And we've come to this other little chamber where there's actually a few different directions you can go in. So there's to the right, kind of straight ahead, and to the left. Alright, so we've healed up and we're gonna continue. So, as I said, we go round to this left. There's three options. We go round to the left. And there's gonna be some more enemies here. And as we get to here, you can see that there's like a split again, the kind of blue side and the red side. And what we want to do is go around to the right side over here. Oh, hello. He came out of nowhere. And as you might be able to see over there, ahead of me is the artifact of the Massive. But there's like a few plateaus we have to cross because there's lava in between. And just... Yes, thank you. Can you just leave me alone? So at this point, it's kind of up to you if you choose to jump over with your mount or if you choose to grapple, because at this point is where you can grapple. In my experience, I do okay getting to the plateau over here with my wolf, but but I always seem to have issues getting the wolf to the plateau where the artifact is on. Oh, no way, no way, no way, no way. And yeah. Let's just say I have lost a few wolves like that. Just like I nearly did now. So, and just to point out, there are a ton of enemies over there. You can kind of avoid them. I think if you don't attract any of them, you should be able to easily avoid them. I would just very much make sure your mount is on passive right now. Because if you do choose to grapple or jump over there, you can also make the jumps just as a player, generally. Again, that's also kind of up to you. It's at your own risk, because there is lava. But just to say, if you do leave your mount here, leave them on passive in case anything does attack. You don't want them running into the lava while they're attacking or something stupid like that. So what I'm gonna do is grapple over it because I'm not taking a risk anymore with my wolves. And there we go. This is the artifact of the massive. Isn't it pretty? No. But there we go. Artifact of the massive. There we go. Oh. And either you can jump or you can grapple over again if you want. That's really, again, up to you. It's your own risk. Whew. Okay. Made it, made it, made it. To be honest, I could have even left my wolf over there because this is also a bit of a risk, to be honest. To go back up here because obviously it's higher up and a wolf is not very good at jumping high. They're good at jumping far, but not high. So what I am going to do is probably just pod this guy just to make sure I don't kill it again or kill another one. And I'll just jump over there myself. There we go. And release this guy again. So if you don't have pods or whatever, you might want to in fact leave your mount just at this section over here. Just make sure you've cleared the enemies from the area so they don't get spontaneously attacked. I think the highest drop you'll find in this cave is a yellow drop, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm basically gonna head back the same way, so we get back to the splitting over here, and we're gonna go to the right now and head back to where there were these explorer notes over here. So for example, in this spot right here, there's sometimes a yellow drop, which can be good, can be pretty good. Don't glitch, please. So yeah, I'm just gonna make my way back up the same way that we came. Also because then it should still be pretty clear of enemies. Hopefully they haven't spawned back by now. Or okay, maybe a few have spawned back. Well, but at least it's not the piles and piles of enemies like in the beginning. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, and then we're gonna head up here, and this basically goes out of the cave. There we go, that is the lava cave for the artifact of the massive. Again, you can use this for the Brood Mother boss fights. So I hope this video has been helpful. Again, if you have any questions about this cave, you can always ask in the comments. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.